York's classic rock, Q1043.
It's Lynyrd Skynyrd, one of America's most beloved rock bands.
Yeah.
And, well, just most beloved bands, period. And we've got Johnny Van Zant and Ricky Medlock of Skynyrd with us here.
Good morning.
And good
You
morning.
do.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You were telling Shelley a Gimme 3 Steps story.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about Billy Powell whenever he was live. We were rehearsing one time. He said, "Man, I'll pay everybody $50 if I don't have." That's my Billy voice, by the way. Yeah, I'll pay everybody $50, you know, to not play the song in rehearsal. We're like, "Why, man? We need to do it." And he was like, "I've played it so many times." He goes, "I don't want to play it in rehearsal. I know it."
I know it.
So you took the 50?
Do what?
No,
took
we
the-
No,
played
we
it
played it.
anyway.
Oh, all right.
And I remember looking back at him as we're doing it, and he's just sitting back going,
Yeah.
you know, like, okay.
Ricky, you are dressed like a rock star at 7 o'clock in the morning. Of course, you are a rock star, so anything you wear would be dressed like a rock star.
He is looking spiffy, isn't
But
he?
yeah, but
It's
I mean
the jacket. It's the jacket.
that looks like you're stepping out into the spotlight
Well,
on
just,
stage.
you know what? I just got this jacket, as a matter of fact, and being native, you know, almost about 2/3, 3/4 Native American, you know, I got the jacket on.
Well, it's a beautiful jacket.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
very
I
I was
appreciate
thinking
it.
about mine. I'm like,
I like your
Mine
T-shirt.
looks good over here.
I like your
Walmart.
T-shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've got a Shrine. Well,
a Shriners
Jo-
Hospital for Children
yes,
T-shirt.
Johnny's wearing a Shriners Hospital
Yeah.
for Children
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
shirt,
Yeah, we
and,
do,
and they do wonderful stuff.
Yeah, we do actually
Oh, yeah.
a thing at each show. The Shriners come out and we sell a CD to them, to our audience, of course, and part of the proceeds goes to the Shriners, the Children's Hospital.
Yeah, I remember the Shriners when I was a kid. You know, they wore the fez.
Oh, yeah.
They would come
yeah.
out, and they had the Shrine Circus.
Yeah, they sure did.
Oh, yeah.
You
Sure
know,
did.
which
Sure
raised
did.
money
Do they
for
still
the
have the
hospitals.
circus?
No, they cut that out.
I don't
yeah.
think they do that anymore.
Yeah.
No.
I
No,
remember
but
'cause they had the
they
clowns
do
in the little
do
cart.
take care of a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I
They still
love
do.
the commercial that they have
So do I.
with the kids. That gets me every
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's one kid who's like the main
Yeah, the main
spokesperson.
little guy,
Yes.
yeah.
He's
Yeah, very cute.
he's wonderful.
Oh, he's darling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
He's
we believe-
adorable.
You know what? The Skynyrd people don't notice about Skynyrd, and it says in the Bible you're not supposed to say what you give or want rewards for it. But we've actually done a lot of charity work over the years. We've given back quite a bit.
It's
so.
well known.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's well known
Yes.
that you have. It's
So-
it's one of the reasons why I said one of the most beloved
Yeah.
bands. I mean, your fans, they have a relationship with you that is
Oh yeah, we
that
call
is-
them our Skynyrd Nation.
that is real close. It's real close.
Yeah.
We just, you know, he says it every night on stage. I mean, when you look out in the audience now we look out and we see 4 generations.
Yeah.
And we did a song called Skynyrd Nation, and we wrote the lyrics, and it says 3 generations, Bull, but now it's 4 generations.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
So I'm crawling out of here because I feel old.
You should feel proud, not
But you're
old.
looking good.
And you know what? We've been playing your music for just as long.
Yes.
So what does that make us?
Well, you just made me
You
feel
want to
even
pay us
older.
$50
I mean,
not
come
to have
on.
to play 3 steps again too, right?
Yeah, we were there. We were there for it all.
Yeah, we were.
And a famous English rock star, well, a famous Canadian rock star now,
Yeah.
once told me that you guys are about the most fun people to hang out with in the whole world, and that's Paul Rogers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, we
Paul's
love
a
him.
dear friend of ours. Him and Cynthia are great people. His wife, you know.
Yeah, well,
We just
Miss,
did a show
Miss
with him.
Canada.
Yeah, we just saw him. We just saw him.
not too long ago. So we're
Well, one day, and not on the air. Okay, so we're just talking conversation. It was out in the hallway over there. And one day he started telling stories about you guys and how much fun you are. And
Oh, that's great.
You know, last year we went to, speaking of charity, we went to a children's hospital in Minnesota. We were up there playing us and Badco. And so we went to a rehab center in the hospital and played acoustically. And Cynthia dressed up as, what was she?
A banana. Yeah, a banana.
For the kids. And, you know, so they give back too. So, you know what? We're dear friends and love them. And him and Simon and the guys,
Yeah.
the band, man, it's just great.
and
people.
Lynyrd Skynyrd is part of Americana. I mean, in
Yeah.
a very, you know, real serious way. I went to an Elton John concert a few years ago in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
I hadn't been in that state in a long time.
Right.
And I was walking around, and I just happened to notice on a license plate on a car that went by, underneath the numbers, it said Sweet Home,
Alabama.
It just said Sweet Home.
I got one even better than that.
What?
A guy here about 3 years ago, he stole my identity.
What?
And he stole a bunch of money from me, and he bought a motorcycle, a Harley, and his tag said Skynyrd on it.
The chutzpah.
Well, if you steal from you, you might as well give him credit, right?
All right, I want to clear something up because I call you Lynyrd Skynyrd, and Jim says Lynyrd.
Lynyrd,
which is correct, Lynyrd or
Either
Lynyrd?
way, really.
You don't care?
I say it both ways myself sometimes.
What?
Yeah.
You say it both ways?
Wait a minute. It
How
can't
can
be
you say it
both
wrong?
ways.
It's
You
Lynyrd Skynyrd.
It's Lynyrd.
Lynyrd,
I actually pronounce the D
Yeah.
in Lynyrd.
So do I.
And
Lynyrd.
Skynyrd.
I
Lynyrd
say
Skynyrd.
Lynyrd, so I've been
You know
wrong
what?
all
Most
this
times
time?
these days, I just
Lynyrd?
go Skynyrd.
Well, Skynyrd we could all agree on.
You know what? As long as you get your point across, what's the difference?
Okay, we're gonna talk about the new album and concert film in just a moment. Johnny Van Zant and Ricky Medlock of Lynyrd Skynyrd are with us this morning here at Q104.3. In just a little while, we're going to play a version of Simple Man that you've never heard before because it's from the brand new album, Last of the Street Survivors, Farewell Tour Live. Alive spelled L-Y-V-E.
Of course.
With an exclamation
Got to
point.
have the Y, son.
And,
it's a Skynyrd law.
And this is the soundtrack for the concert film Lynyrd Skynyrd, Last of the Street Survivors, Farewell Tour. And the album came out Friday, right? Was
Correct.
released on Friday.
Yes.
By the way, George Clark, who's a listener, just sent me this message, so I've got to share it with you.
Okay. All right.
Okay? I love, love, love Lynyrd Skynyrd forever and have seen them dozens of times. Tell them I'm the guy who yells Freebird.
Every time.
He's the guy.
Oh, you're the guy.
You're the guy, George.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. George, thank you.
You know what a tradition that is, and not just at Skynyrd shows.
No,
I remember years ago, Travis Tritt, the great country star, told us that before he was famous, when he was playing in bands, that what he heard the most when he played in bars and clubs was the sound of people shouting out, Freebird!
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. So where did that start?
Who knows?
You don't know?
You know what? It really happens at our shows a lot of times in
Well,
between
of
songs.
course.
You hear people
I know.
going, Freebird. We're like, okay, we'll get to
Yeah,
it.
I
We
know.
promise.
But you know, what's missing these days, I would imagine, is...
Jim still has
Oh,
one.
the lighters.
Oh, the lighters. No, now it's cell phones.
Yeah,
of
now it's
course.
cell
Yeah,
phones
cell
all
phones,
lit
yeah.
up.
Man, this is really good because you'll meet people. I mean, this even happened at shows. We'll do these meet and greets, and somebody will walk in and go, "Now you're going to play Freebird tonight, aren't you?" Nah, we're just going to walk off.
Well, you know, every year, and this will be the 19th year, every year, at this station, every year we do the top 1,043 classic rock songs of all time, and listeners vote, and we compile it all. And Freebird is always right there at the top, along with Stairway to Heaven and Hey Jude. I mean, it's always there at the
And to
very,
think the
very
record
top.
company didn't want Skynyrd to do it.
Isn't that wild?
Really? What? Tell
Really?
us
They
the
said it
story.
was
Oh,
too
yeah.
long.
Well,
Back then.
they
Yeah,
said it's too long. It'll never go.
Oh, if we shorten it to a 3-minute version.
Wow. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? Won't you fly high, Freebird? Okay, that's it.
Or you speed it up like we did with the Nagata DeVito. We did like a 20-second version.
Oh, did you really?
Oh yeah, but that was for
That was just
comedy.
fun.
That was for comedy. We actually did take the entire Inagata Davida and turn it into, it was 1 minute. 1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was awesome. Oh, the drum solo. The drum solo was
That's
really something.
hilarious.
The concert film Lynyrd Skynyrd, Last of the Street Survivors Farewell Tour. It was filmed just recently in September in
Last year.
yeah, of last year.
September of last year.
In September of last year, in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, by recent this tour, this is the farewell, goodbye, say goodbye forever tour, which I still, I don't know.
It's hard to
It's
say.
hard to
What?
accept.
You know what I found out? I said, you know what? When you say, because I've said it myself, I was like, God, they're still on their farewell tour. But when you do like 50, 60 shows a year, you don't cover a lot of ground. And when we started this out, we started 2018 in West Palm Beach, and we said, hey, we want to hit every place we've ever played and every place we didn't play before we say goodbye, and so we're going to be playing some next year too. So I mean, we want to go say goodbye to all of our fans. And,
do you have an end date in place?
I'm sorry.
Do you have an end date in place? Final.
It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah. You know what? We're looking at probably the end of next year. I mean, but like this year, I think we did, 50, 60 shows, something like that, And
but
you don't hit a lot of ground. I mean, we still got, we went to Europe this year, and before we ever left Europe, people were going, you didn't come to France, you didn't come to Finland, you didn't come to Denmark.
Well, you've already got people.
Yeah.
You already got people in South America, New Zealand, Australia going, what about us?
Right.
Yeah.
So... Who knows?
But we recorded this live show down in Jacksonville where the Jags play at. And
right, 50,000 people in the audience.
Nice.
50,000 people.
It was a great day. We had a bunch of our friends: Blackberry Smoke, Charlie Daniels, Kid Rock,
and it was shot on 16.
Jason Aldean.
It was shot on what?
16 camera.
Yeah,
16 cameras in 4K.
Yeah.
Well, Kid Rock. I mean, he famously sampled you on one of his biggest hits ever.
Yeah, no kidding.
ever.
No kidding.
So he's not just your friend.
Yeah.
You got some checks out of that deal.
Better get some checks.
Yeah, no doubt. But Billy Powell, we were talking about Billy. He actually played on that at the very end.
He did. He played on Kid Rock's version.
It was a great song for Kid Rock, and hey, we loved it. He's a good friend of ours. So,
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay, that means you get to vote, doesn't it? If you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
I never got a ballot.
See, it's still the same. The secrecy. Who votes?
No, if you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, don't you get to vote?
Yeah, I believe you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? When the guys got in there, man, it was Ronnie and Alan and Gary and Leon and Billy. Those were the main ones that got in there. It started Lynyrd Skynyrd, and that was a great day for the band.
But your film pays, tribute to everybody.
Oh yeah.
Who's ever, like worn the uniform, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely has.
I think I think of the whole set that we do, I mean, there's a lot of special moments in it, but we created this one thing in Freebird that, to me, is probably the most special moment of the whole show is when, pretty well everybody knows it now, so I can talk about it, but Johnny brings out, Ronnie's hat, the black one, and puts it on top of the microphone stand, and the whole third verse and chorus is Ronnie on the screen singing with the band.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I'll tell you, I've seen grown men in the audience weeping.
Sure.
I mean, it's a very powerful thing. And to be standing there, Gary and I, the way it is, Gary and I are standing right at the microphone stand with the lights on it, And I've got pictures from it, and I've got one special one up in my house already of Gary and I standing there where you can see Gary and I looking at each other with the hat right there and with the lights down on it. And it's just like, it's almost religious to me,
Yeah, chills.
And it's a very special moment. I get chills from it every night.
And there's going to be a very special moment this coming Thursday, November 7th at 7 p.m. when the concert film Lynyrd Skynyrd, Last of the Street Survivors Farewell Tour will be shown in theaters all over the country through Fathom Events. They do some wonderful stuff, Fathom Events.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do.
But here in our area, it's going to be 22 different locations.
Wow, there you go.
I mean, that's a lot of screens.
George, you
here.
better go.
And
check it out.
Tickets in all theater locations are at fathomevents.com. But, I mean, there are several Manhattan locations: Clifton, New Jersey, Staten Island, Whitestone and Queens, Paramus, New Jersey, Wayne, New Jersey, Yonkers, Hazlitt, Rockaway, New Jersey, Farmingdale on Long Island. I mean, there's a lot. And it's going to be simultaneous.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're sitting in the Farmingdale multiplex on Long Island enjoying the show, at that same exact moment, You know, people at the Regal Staten Island Stadium 16 are going to be
cool.
enjoying, you know, the same.
That's cool.
The same exact.
Cool.
So it's going to be like synchronization.
Are you guys going to sneak into one of these and watch
sneak
the
into
reaction?
one of them? We were just talking about that. We
That would
said
be
we'd
so much
probably
fun.
only last about 2 or 3 songs, and then we'd be like, "Oh, we played it."
But every member is showcased.
I'm sorry.
Every member is showcased in this.
Yeah.
In this
You know
film.
what? It's. I'm glad to hear that it's being played up here because we have so many fans up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's really, really great, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the
I
fans
met a guy
think of
yesterday
it.
at the airport. I live down in Fort Myers, and I met a guy at the airport yesterday, and he come up to me and he says, "Aren't you Ricky Medlock from Lynyrd Skynyrd?" I said, "Yes, I am." He goes, "Man, I've gone to see you guys so many times at Jones Beach." And he said, "I went and saw you the last time," and he goes, "Just tell me that please tell me it's not over." And I said, "Well," I said, "for several reasons we've done this." And he goes, "Oh my God, I hope you guys play at least one more time in New York so I can see you guys." He goes, "How about Madison Square Garden?" And I went, "Well, you never know, you know." But just to watch his face, him and his wife, was a real trip because it was like, come on, tell me. You
Well,
know?
hopefully he's listening right now.
Yeah,
and has a big smile on.
Come
his
on,
face.
Jimmy, get up.
Lynyrd Skynyrd, Last of the Street Survivors Farewell Tour Live. It's the new album. This physical copy that I'm holding in my hand right now goes to Laura Harold of Ronkonkoma. And fathomevents.com, that's where you find out all the information for theater locations and tickets for the concert film, which will be shown this Thursday. It's one night only, Thursday, November 7th at 7 p.m. It'll be nationwide in over 800 theaters, 22 of which will be in our metropolitan area. Awesome. The tour continues. You're going to play New Year's Eve at the NHL Winter Classic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Over in
fun.
Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, the annual outdoor stadium hockey game. And Snoop Dogg's a big fan of yours, huh?
Oh, that was a trip. That was a trip. Yeah, we did a private show, and for this corporation, I think about 3,000 people, from the corporation, and they selected him, and they selected us. So that was cool. He was cool, though, man.
Very cool, very nice, and
very
we all
high.
talked a little bit, and we were kind of high, but besides that, we were okay. It actually happened to me. I don't smoke personally, but I was on stage saying something to the crowd, and I went, I don't know what I was saying. But, we were hanging out with Snoop Dogg backstage, so I think I got a contact.
Well, Lynyrd Skynyrd, the band, always a very special place in our hearts here at Q104.3. You were the very first artist to ever perform in our iHeartRadio theater downstairs.
Awesome. Oh, that's cool.
And,
that's really cool.
So many other great artists followed you on that stage, but you were the very, very first.
Awesome.
And best of luck to you, and thank you for
you
all
so
the
much,
charitable work that you do. And just a reminder to all of our friends, because Johnny is wearing that Shriners Hospital for Children shirt. You want to check them out. They do wonderful work. And Johnny and Ricky.
Yes.
Thank you for getting up so early and
you for
hanging out
having
with
us
us.
Yeah,
this
thank you
morning.
for
We
having us
appreciate
in
it.
today.
New York's classic rock, Q104.3.